Your 4 favorites are The Green Knight, Warrior, La La Land, and Spirited Away. You saw all the obvious choices already, so this one might get a bit messy. The first movie I want to recommend is The Adventures of Prince Ahmed, which is the oldest surviving animated feature film. That might seem like a weird choice since all the movies in your favorites were released within the past 25 years, but you've seen a lot of older movies and you've got an animated film in your favorites. Plus, this movie involves shape-shifting and witchcraft like Spirited Away, and it's a fantasy that's got some sorcery going on like The Green Knight. While I'm on the topic of older films, I also want to recommend Sunrise, A Song of Two Humans, because I feel like there's at least one scene in La La Land that was inspired by this movie. Also, there's a drunk pig, which kind of makes me think of Spirited Away. One of the first movies I wrote down was Orpheus, because it's a fantasy like The Green Knight and Spirited Away, and it's got romance like La La Land. Since you like The Green Knight, I think you might like Ridley Scott's Legend. David Lowery cited the close-up shots in The Passion of Joan of Arc as an inspiration when he was making The Green Knight. He also cited The Dark Crystal as an inspiration. I don't know if he cited The Last Temptation of Christ as an influence, but I definitely think it had an impact on The Green Knight. The Treasure of the Sierra Madre also came to mind because it also has the same feeling of going on a quest. And I also think you'd like Throne of Blood. You saw my usual choices for Warrior, so I just focused more on fighting movies. So I think you might like Raging Bull, Million Dollar Baby, A Prayer Before Dawn, and possibly Southpaw. La La Land was clearly inspired by Jacques Demy, and you already saw The Umbrellas of Cherbourg, so I think you should check out The Young Girls of Rochefort. Umbrellas feels like it inspired the more emotional moments in La La Land, while The Young Girls feels like it inspired the more happy moments. Another Damien Chazelle film I think you'd like is Guy and Madeline on a Park Bench. The Red Shoes also involves dancing, romance, and people pursuing their dreams. And a couple other romantic musicals that came to mind are One from the Heart, Funny Face, which was referenced in La La Land, and Once. Since you like Spirited Away, some other animated films I think you'd enjoy are The Tale of the Princess Kaguya, Whisper of the Heart, Night is Short, Walk On Girl, and Wolf Walkers.